What happens when a stranger openly attacks the value of everything you have devoted your life to, doing it loudly in front of a crowd you do not know? Most individuals respond with debate. Others choose to leave. Bruce Lee chose a third option. Los Angeles International Airport, 1973. A man holding a judo black belt declares that kung fu is an illusion. Bruce Lee answers in 7 seconds, without speaking even once. And everyone who witnesses it learns a quiet lesson. The person who makes the most noise is not always the one with the most power. But let's step backward. Los Angeles International Airport. Terminal 3. March 15, 1973. Friday afternoon, 3:30 p.m. The terminal is crowded. It is spring break travel season. Families move in clusters, children weaving between rows of seats. Business travelers sit in pressed suits, newspapers folded in their hands. College students sprawl across the floor, backpacks used as pillows. The air carries layers of scent, burnt coffee drifting from the concession counter, jet fuel seeping in from the runway, and that unmistakable airport mixture of recycled air and industrial carpet cleaner. The public address system sputters to life. Flight updates spill out in that familiar airport voice, urgent yet dull at the same time. An American Airlines flight bound for San Francisco begins boarding at Gate 24. A Panama flight heading to Tokyo is delayed 2 hours. It is the normal disorder of international travel in the 1970s. Bruce Lee sits by himself on a row of linked plastic chairs near Gate 27. He wears dark trousers and a plain black turtleneck. A leather jacket rests over the seat beside him. A small carry-on bag sits at his feet. He is reading. The book is the Jeet Kune Do manuscript, his own work, unfinished. He writes notes along the margins with a pen. He is waiting for a flight to Hong Kong. A short journey, visiting family, settling business matters with Golden Harvest Studios, checking post-production progress on Enter the Dragon, the movie that will turn him into a worldwide icon. But he does not know that yet. At this moment, he is simply a tired man sitting in an airport, trying to borrow a few quiet minutes from a loud, restless terminal. Bruce Lee is 32 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall, 135 pounds, compact, precise, every ounce of him purposeful. He wears reading glasses, something audiences never see on screen. They make him resemble a professor more than a fighter, which is exactly who he is when cameras are absent. A teacher, a philosopher, a lifelong student of movement and human capability. He has been training since 4 a.m. that morning. He ran 5 miles, worked the heavy bag, practiced Kai Sao with Dan Inosanto for an hour. His knuckles remain slightly swollen from striking drills. His lower back aches from the flexibility work of the previous day. But his mind is clear, alert, absorbing every line on the page before him. The gate area is only partially filled, perhaps 50 or 60 people scattered around. Some are asleep, some read. A few children roll toy cars across the floor, keys clinking nearby. It is a typical Friday afternoon airport atmosphere. No one is paying attention to anyone else. Everyone exists inside their own small world. Then the feeling changes. A man enters the gate area. He is tall, 6 feet 2 inches, roughly 210 pounds, Asian American, late 20s. He wears a white judo gi, the traditional uniform. A black belt is tied around his waist, an obi. The belt shows wear, fraying at the edges. It is not new. This is not a costume. This is someone who has put in years of work. His name is Robert Chen. A 6th-degree black belt, 15 years of training, national competition experience, regional placements. He teaches Judo at a dojo in West Los Angeles. His credentials are real, his skill legitimate, not a hobbyist, not a weekend enthusiast, a true martial artist who has dedicated his life to his discipline. Robert carries a gym bag, clearly coming from practice. His gi is clean, but his hair is still damp with sweat. He walks with intention, head upright, shoulders squared, the confidence of someone who knows exactly what they are capable of. He heads toward his gate, gate 28, directly beside Bruce's gate. Then he stops. Mid-step he freezes. His eyes lock onto Bruce Lee, seated quietly on the plastic chairs, reading unaware. Robert recognizes him instantly. Everyone does. Even in 1973, before Enter the Dragon reaches theaters, Bruce Lee is already a recognizable face. The Green Hornet, television appearances, martial arts demonstrations covered by the media. He is not yet a massive star, but within martial arts circles, he is unmistakable. Robert's expression changes. Not excitement, not admiration, not the usual response of a fan. Something sharper. His jaw tightens, his eyes narrow. He shifts the gym bag to his other shoulder, sets his stance, and walks straight toward Bruce. Other passengers begin to notice. The atmosphere around the gate subtly shifts. People sense that something is about to unfold. Conversations fade. Heads turn. Attention gathers around the tall man in a judo uniform, moving with clear intent toward the solitary reader in the corner. Robert stops 5 feet from Bruce. He says nothing. He simply stands there, towering, waiting for Bruce to become aware of him. Bruce senses the presence before seeing it. 15 years of sensitivity training ensure that he is never fully disconnected from his surroundings. Even while reading, a part of his awareness tracks the space around him. He knows someone is standing close. Too near, intentionally near. Bruce slowly lifts his gaze from the page. He removes his reading glasses with care and places them gently atop the manuscript. His expression remains even, no irritation, no defensiveness, just attention, fully present, waiting to understand why this moment exists. Robert speaks loudly enough for the entire gate area to hear. "You're Bruce Lee." It is not phrased as a question. It lands as a charge, spoken as though Bruce has done something wrong simply by being who he is. Bruce gives a small nod. "That's correct." Robert shifts his balance, the subtle adjustment judokas make when preparing to engage, almost invisible to outsiders, unmistakable to anyone familiar with grappling arts. His body is setting itself. "I've seen your films," Robert says, his voice carries. "The gate area is fully alert now." "The Green Hornet, your demonstrations." Bruce offers no reply. He waits. "Kung Fu is useless," Robert declares. Louder this time, deliberately louder, making sure every person nearby hears him. Against real martial arts, judo, wrestling, actual combat sports, Kung Fu is just choreography, movie movement. It wouldn't last 10 seconds against a real judoka. Silence spreads across the gate. 50 people exhale and then stop breathing. Bruce studies Robert for a long moment. His face remains unchanged. No anger, no pride rising to meet the challenge. Only calm evaluation, reading Robert the way one reads an opponent before a match, watching for signs, listening for what lies beneath the words. And Bruce sees it. This has nothing to do with Kung Fu versus Judo. This is about Robert needing proof, proof for himself, proof for the audience, proof for a martial arts world buzzing about Bruce Lee's disruptive ideas, about a philosophy that questions tradition, about absorbing what is useful and rejecting what is not. This is fear. Fear that 15 years of dedication may not be enough. Fear that Bruce's method, blending styles, breaking rules, favoring effectiveness over form, might be correct. And if Bruce is right, then what does that mean for 15 years spent inside a gi? Bruce understands this instinct. He has encountered it before. Traditional martial artists unsettled by his thinking. People who tie their identity so tightly to their discipline that any challenge feels personal. Who cannot separate their art from who they believe they are. He could argue. He could explain that he respects Judo. That grappling arts are vital. That Jeet Kune Do includes wrestling and throws. That he has never claimed Kung Fu superiority, only that every system has strengths and limits. But words will not reach Robert. Not here. Not now. Not with 50 witnesses and an ego demanding public validation. Bruce closes his book, places it carefully on the seat beside him. He rises to his feet without urgency. No aggression, no threatening motion, simply standing. He meets Robert's gaze, eye level only in spirit, 5'7" facing 6'2". He speaks softly. "Show me." Robert blinks. "What?" "Show me that Kung Fu doesn't work against Judo." Bruce's voice remains quiet, controlled, unmistakably clear in the hushed gate. "You're making a claim, support it, show me." Robert is caught off guard. He expected resistance, or retreat, or anger, not acceptance. A businessman nearby speaks up nervously. "Hey, maybe this isn't a good idea." Bruce raises one hand gently. "It's all right, we're just talking, no one will be hurt." The certainty in his tone is unsettling, as if he already knows the outcome. Robert sets his gym bag down. Travelers begin backing away, forming a loose circle. Some excited, this is better than anything on television. Others anxious. Violence inside an airport could spiral quickly. An elderly woman pulls her grandson closer. A security guard, 2 gates away, notices the movement and starts walking over. He is still 50 yards out. Whatever is coming will unfold before he arrives. Robert steps into the open space, drops into a judo stance, feet shoulder-width apart, knees flexed, hands raised, perfect posture, 15 years of muscle memory settling into place. He looks powerful, confident, ready. Bruce does not mirror him. He stands naturally, feet relaxed, arms at his sides, breathing steady, as though he is still simply waiting for a flight. The contrast infuriates Robert. The perceived disrespect. The absence of fear. The quiet certainty. "Put your hands up," Robert snaps through clenched teeth. Bruce shakes his head slightly. "I don't need to." "Then you'll lose." "Show me." Robert moves. He is fast. 15 years of training allow his body to act without conscious thought. He closes the distance in 2 steps. His right hand shoots forward for Bruce's lapel. The classic judo grip. Control the uniform, control the body, execute the throw. A technique practiced thousands of times. His hand surges forward, and Bruce's left hand meets it mid-motion, not blocking but intercepting, cutting the attack off before it fully forms. His fingers close around Robert's wrist with exactness. Not painful, just precise. Enough pressure to control without harm. At the second count, Robert attempts to pull free to reset. But Bruce, he is already in motion. Bruce's right hand rises and makes contact with the inside of Robert's elbow. Not a strike meant to injure, just a precise touch. It lands on a pressure point that forces Robert's arm to hyperextend on reflex. His grip collapses. His structure dissolves. Second 3. Bruce steps to Robert's outside angle, moving off the center line. Robert's forward drive carries him into nothing. Empty space. His training urges him to recover, to plant his feet, regain balance, reset his stance, but Bruce does not allow the reset. Second 4. Bruce's right foot hooks and sweeps Robert's lead leg. It is a simple sweep, basic, the kind taught in first-year judo classes, but timing decides everything. Robert's weight is mid-transition. His balance is already compromised. The sweep lands at the one instant where resistance no longer exists. Second 5. Robert's base disappears. He is falling. 15 years of ukemi training activate instantly. His body knows how to fall without injury. Chin tucked, arm slaps the ground to disperse force, head protected. But Bruce governs the descent. His left hand maintains control of Robert's wrist. His right hand slides to Robert's shoulder, guiding the fall, not driving him down, not punishing, only directing, ensuring a safe landing. Second 6. Robert meets the airport carpet flat on his back. No slam, no injury, just clean, controlled contact. Bruce's knee settles on Robert's chest, not crushing, not full weight. Position, control. Bruce's left hand pins Robert's right wrist to the floor. His right hand hovers near Robert's throat, not touching, not threatening, simply placed. Second 7. Bruce speaks quietly, only Robert hears. Do you tap? Robert stares upward. His face is flushed, not from physical strain, but from humiliation, from disbelief, from the crushing realization that 15 years of training have been dismantled by someone who never even assumed a fighting stance. 50 people around the gate are frozen in silence. Some stand with mouths open. Some are caught mid-motion. A man halfway into a seat. A woman holding a coffee cup inches from her lips. The children who had been playing with toy cars are staring. The businessman has lowered his newspaper completely. No one can comprehend what they just witnessed. It happened too quickly. 7 seconds from first contact to total control. 7 seconds to take a 6'2", 210-pound, 6th-degree black belt from standing to pinned on the ground. The security guard finally arrives. He sees Robert on his back. Bruce kneeling above him. 50 stunned onlookers. The guard's hand goes to his radio. Bruce notices him, releases Robert's wrist, rises slowly, steps back 3 paces, hands visible, movements calm and deliberate, communicating clearly that this is finished. No threat remains. Robert stays on the ground for a moment, eyes fixed on the ceiling. His entire worldview has just been rewritten in 7 seconds. Bruce extends his hand to help him up. Robert looks at the hand, then at Bruce's face. There is no mockery there, no triumph, no ego, just an offer. Robert takes the hand. Bruce pulls him to his feet. Robert's legs tremble, not from exhaustion, but from psychological shock. The security guard approaches. What's going on here? Bruce answers evenly. We were discussing martial arts. My friend asked for a demonstration. I showed him. No one is hurt. The guard looks at Robert. That true? Robert nods slowly. He cannot speak yet. Words have not returned. The guard scans the crowd. Everyone all right? People nod, some still stunned, some already whispering. The story has begun forming. Details are already changing. By tomorrow it will be 10 men. By next week, Bruce will have been blindfolded. That is how legends are born. The guard points at both men. Keep it peaceful. This is an airport, not a dojo. Understood, Bruce replies. The guard walks away, still wary, but no crime has occurred. No injuries, no damage, just two men practicing martial arts in a terminal. Strange, but not illegal. Bruce retrieves his leather jacket, returns to his seat, sits down, puts his reading glasses back on, opens his manuscript. As if nothing happened. Robert remains standing, still processing. Bruce looks up. You can sit if you want. My flight doesn't board for another hour. Robert sits not beside Bruce. That feels too close. Instead, one chair over, near enough to talk. They sit in silence. A minute passes. Finally, Robert speaks. How? Bruce looks at him. How what? How did you? I'm a 6th degree. 15 years. I've thrown men bigger than me and you just. His voice trails off. Bruce closes his book, removes his glasses. You are a very good judoka. Robert's face reddens. Don't patronize me. I'm not. Bruce continues calmly. Your stance was textbook, your entry was fast, your grip was correct. Everything you did was right for judo. Then how? You fought with rules, Bruce says. You reached for my gi, but I'm not wearing one. You prepared for a classical throw. I didn't give you classical structure. He pauses. You trained for 15 years against people playing the same game you play. Bruce meets Robert's eyes. I don't play games. I fight. Robert falls silent. Bruce continues. Judo is beautiful, it is effective. But it is designed for a particular environment. Opponents wearing gis, predictable grips, competition frameworks, defined rules. When you face someone who does not honor those conditions, who refuses to give you the positions you rely on, what happens? Robert answers quietly. I lose. You learn, Bruce corrects. Today you learned that your discipline has limits. That isn't weakness. That's wisdom. Every system has boundaries. The real question is this: are you rigid or are you water? Robert looks at him. Water. Be water, my friend. Bruce allows a faint smile. Water does not resist the container. It becomes the container. It flows around barriers. It adjusts. Judo is your base. It is strong. It is real. But are you willing to build on it, to adapt it, to let it grow? So you're saying I should learn Kung Fu? Bruce shakes his head. I'm saying you should learn everything. Wrestling, boxing, fencing. Study them all, take what works, discard what doesn't, add what is uniquely yours. Don't be a judoka, be a martial artist. The PA system crackles overhead. Pan AM Flight 742 to Hong Kong, now boarding at Gate 27. Bruce rises, collects his jacket, his bag, his manuscript. Robert stands as well. Wait, can I train with you? Bruce looks at him. You live in Los Angeles, West LA. I teach on Wilshire. He reaches into his jacket, removes a business card, writes something on the back, and hands it to Robert. My school is in Chinatown, Tuesday and Thursday evenings. If you're serious, come, but leave your ego at the door. White belt mind, even if you wear black. Robert takes the card, stares at it. Bruce extends his hand. It was good meeting you, Robert. Robert shakes it. You know my name. Bruce nods toward the gym bag. It's stitched on the side. Robert looks down. There it is, Robert Chen, embroidered near the zipper. Bruce lifts his carry-on and heads toward the gate. The boarding line parts without resistance. People are still watching, still absorbing, still trying to understand what they witnessed. Robert remains standing, business card in hand. His back aches slightly from the fall. His ego aches far more from the lesson. An elderly woman approaches, the one with the grandson. "That was Bruce Lee," she says in accented English. Robert nods. "You were very brave to challenge him." "I was very foolish," Robert replies. She pats his arm gently. "But you learned. That is not foolish, that is wise." 3 months later, Robert Chen walks into the Jun Fan Gung Fu Institute in Chinatown. Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. He wears plain training clothes. No gi, no belt, just black pants and a white t-shirt. The school occupies the second floor of a brick building. Wooden stairs creak underfoot. The air smells of liniment oil and sweat. Mirrors line one wall. Heavy bags hang along another. 20 students train in pairs. The room is filled with controlled impacts, measured breathing, shuffling feet on hardwood. Bruce notices Robert enter. He nods but continues teaching, demonstrating Kai Sao, sticky hands with a student. Robert watches. The movements are unfamiliar to his judo background, but the principles feel known. Sensitivity, reading intent, yielding to pressure instead of opposing it. After the demonstration, Bruce gathers the class. "We have a new student," he says. "Robert Chen, 6th degree judo black belt, 15 years of experience, real skill." He looks at Robert. "But today, he's a white belt, because we're all white belts when we learn something new." Robert bows. The class bows back. Bruce pairs him with Dan Inasanto. "Dan, teach him the Kai Sao basics. Don't go easy, but don't break him." Dan smiles and extends his arms. "Ready." Robert steps in, makes contact. And for the next 2 hours, Robert Chen begins unlearning 15 years of rigidity and learning how to be water. 50 years later, Robert Chen is 78 years old, still teaching. His school in West Los Angeles now offers integrated martial arts, judo as a foundation, Jeet Kune Do principles layered on top, boxing, wrestling, Muay Thai, everything blended, everything fluid. On the wall of his office hangs a black and white photograph. Bruce Lee and Robert Chen, taken in 1974 at a seminar, both smiling, Bruce's hand resting on Robert's shoulder. When students ask about Bruce, Robert tells them the story, the airport, the 7 seconds, the lesson. He always ends the same way. "I challenged him to prove Kung Fu was useless. He proved something greater. That being right and winning are not the same thing. That true strength is offering to teach the person who challenged you. That mastery isn't about domination, it's about elevation." He could have humiliated me. He could have hurt me. He could have walked away. Instead, he gave me 7 seconds that changed my life. 7 seconds that taught me more than 15 years in a gi. That isn't Kung Fu. That isn't Judo. That is mastery. And somewhere in Hong Kong, inside an archive belonging to Golden Harvest Studios, there is footage no one has ever seen. March 1973. Bruce Lee boarding a plane at LAX. A camera operator was filming B-roll for a documentary that was never completed. But if you examine the footage carefully, frame by frame, it is there. A tall man wearing a white gi stands near the gate, watching Bruce walk away, a business card clenched in his hand. His expression captures the precise instant a belief system collapses and reforms. 7 seconds of physical exchange. 50 years of consequence. That is the difference between winning a confrontation and transforming a life.